Welcome to The Whole Traveler. I'm Jeffrey Gard, and in this video, we are talking about hotels in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Specifically, I'm going to share with you my experience in the 3 different hotels we stayed at during our time in Buenos Aires. Let's get started. Alrighty, so first things first, where should you stay? I strongly recommend for all first-time visitors to Buenos Aires is the Recoleta District. The Recoleta is the most posh and sophisticated neighborhood in Buenos Aires. It's famous for its European-style architecture, the tree-lined avenues, corner cafes, cultural landmarks, museums, parks, shopping, and so much more. Recoleta exudes elegance and wealth. If you want to know more about what there is to do in Buenos Aires, check out my guide on 20 things to do. It covers all of the major neighborhoods with loads of attractions that are worth your time and will give you a comprehensive appreciation and understanding, not just of Buenos Aires, but also Argentina as a whole. If you want to know more about restaurants, I have some information on that too. Focus on places we ate that were nearby major attractions, how restaurants work, and some other helpful advice. If you also want information on general planning and practical things to know about moving around in Buenos Aires, then you will definitely want to check out my Buenos Aires 101 video that offers super helpful advice on getting around. More about the neighborhoods, the airports, the currency, and how it works, and other helpful stuff. Okay, so back to hotels. We stayed at 3 hotels, all in Recoleta, well, in Buenos Aires. The Casa in Recoleta, the Sofitel, and the Park Hyatt-Palacio Duhau. I hope I'm saying that right. Duhau. Casa Recoleta is a solid hotel that has a luxe glamour to it. We booked it through Expedia and had 0 problems checking in. We arrived very early in the morning, around 8 a.m., and so we knew to book the day in advance so we could walk right in and have our room there waiting for us. We communicated to the front desk through Expedia that we were purchasing the day before our arrival, and so please have the room ready, and it was no problem. Our room had very nice touches, attractive furniture, comfortable bed and pillows, with good lighting and basic amenities like a coffee machine, blow dryer, international outlets that accepted American plugs, a giant TV, nice toiletries, and the nice surprise was a bidet. That was incredible. Seriously, why isn't there such a thing as a bidet in the States? We need one in every bathroom. Another huge plus was the fact that it was quiet. We faced a street, and in the 3 nights we slept there, never heard a thing. They also had excellent blackout curtains, so definitely we appreciate that. The breakfast was in the lower level of the building, and it was very nice as well. I was surprised by the generous offerings of cold options like meats, yogurts, fruits, and breads. You could also order something like an omelet or eggs with sausages. They also had the standard range of breakfast drinks, juices, coffee, tea. The waitstaff were courteous and friendly. The hotel is also located in a very good location, just a very brief walk away from the famous Recoleta Cemetery, where your girl Eva Perón is buried. There's also the cultural center, parks, and a very posh shopping mall. So what wasn't so great? As you can see in the picture, that room is small and tight. The hotel is clearly an older building where the dimensions from long ago were smaller because we were smaller. Also, the number of towels was very limited. That felt a little cheap and chinchy, but in their defense, I never asked for any more, and I'm sure if I did, they would have offered a few more. Why would I recommend this hotel? First off, location. It's in an excellent location, and the price point for the level of luxury offered is really unbeatable. It was the least expensive of the hotels where we stayed. We paid for 4 nights, and our average daily price was around $262, coming out to a total of $978.43. To give you perspective, a similar hotel in Manhattan, like say the Mercer, those rooms earn about $900 a day. So you can clearly see that in terms of luxury, this is a really good deal. The next hotel we stayed at for one night and one day was the Sofitel from the Accor Group. We've stayed at Sofitels in Montreal, New York City, Mexico City, and Philadelphia, and we love the Sofitel experience. It has a distinctly French feel, a clean elegance that you feel the moment you walk into the lobby. Oui, oui. This is a large luxury hotel, and you will definitely feel the privilege from the time you walk into your room. The sheer amount of space in the room is what brought joy to our faces. It kind of felt like the same setup as Casa Recoleta, but in a room that was about twice the size. In the bathroom, we also had a stand-up shower, a bidet, and a ginormous coffin tub that was also amazing. The views are of the back into a beautiful courtyard that was not only pretty to look at, but was also extremely quiet, which again, we really appreciated. With this hotel, we ordered room service, standard stuff like fries and burgers. Hey, don't judge. Somewhere in the middle of your trip, when you feel that vacation stress hitting in, you're going to want to just have comfort food too. And this room service hit the spot. We also had lunch at their restaurant Alma, and I covered this in my restaurant guide, but it was seriously the very best food we had in all of Buenos Aires. That restaurant is where it is at. Their steaks were off the charts amazing, like blew away the competition by a mile. Best of all, the prices were ridiculously cheap. Check out the video if you want the full details on that experience. The location of the Sofitel, like Casa Recoleta, was also excellent. It's really just down the street. Directly across from the hotel was an amazing luxury shopping mall with high-end stores. We stopped and shopped, picking up some nice stuff at L'Occitane and Lacoste. Really good deals. The Wi-Fi also worked without problems, and there were plenty of universal plugins. The bedding, the pillows, the towels, it was all good. Didn't we like? Well, this is where I'm being nitpicky. We had a minor plumbing issue with that coffin tub, but in their defense, they acted quickly on it. If I were to return to Buenos Aires, this is exactly the place where I would settle and stay. We paid $308 for the room that night. In New York City, an entry-level room at the Sofitel in New York would run you about $450 a night. So as you can see, it's much less of a deal, but seriously, it is worth every single penny, in my opinion. The last of our hotel stays was at the Palacio Duhau Park Hyatt. It's an enchanting property where you have views of a palatial mansion, but here's the thing. Pay attention. The actual hotel is comprised of 2 buildings. One of the buildings is a very modern hotel facing the other side of the street from the former Duhau residence. And of course, the other part of the building is the Duhau residence itself. These 2 structures are connected by an underground complex that houses an art gallery, a floral shop, and a spa and gymnasium, or gym. I don't know why I said gymnasium. I got that old glamour running through my blood. That was our immediate disappointment when we realized that we were not going to be staying and enjoying the old world glamour of the Duhau residence. But instead, we were escorted over underground to stay in the modern complex. I can't tell you how much that broke my heart because I really wanted to stay in that beautiful old mansion. The room we had, as you can see, was not big as the Sofitel, but it had all the same amenities. A giant tub, a stand-up shower, a bidet, etc. The bed was okay. Everything was okay. And for me, that's a big problem because with the Park Hyatt, things aren't just supposed to be okay. They're supposed to blow your mind. And this, if I'm honest with you, didn't even come close to blowing my mind. And if I'm honest, this hotel was the one that kind of disappointed me the most. The decor was nice, but it also felt tired. The views were the least inspiring. We were told breakfast for each person was going to be $50 USD, if you can believe that, which was insane because ordering it via room service was going to be like 60% cheaper. I also didn't really care for my time here as well. Even though the palace, the gallery, and everywhere was so nice and beautiful, we always felt like there were eyes on us. Like their security team was constantly on you, assessing whether you were a guest or a nosy stray who just wandered on in and needs to be, shown the way out. It made us feel so uncomfortable. It made us want to run to the elevator from the minute we walked inside. We stayed here towards the end of our trip and we ordered room service, which also took forever. Getting a front desk person on the phone also took forever. I mean, they just let that phone ring and ring and ring, which was so odd to me given the phalanx of staff that they had hovering around everywhere. The food was good, but again, it didn't blow my mind. And I want to be really clear, there was nothing bad. It was perfectly adequate and okay, but if you're staying at that level, your expectations are going to be much higher because what you're supposed to get is supposed to be much higher. The location, like the Sofitel and Casa store, is also really good. It's central to everything. The Wi-Fi worked without problems, and there were plenty of universal plugins. We stayed for 3 nights and paid with 25,000 points per night. And before you tell me that we shouldn't complain because the room was essentially free, let me remind you that it took us a few years to get 75,000 Hyatt points to use, and a lot of money. So no, it wasn't free. I would have been really angry if I had to pay in cash for the experience that we received, because it would have been like somewhere between $850 to $1,000 a night for each night that you stay here. But even with that said, if I knew that I was getting a room at the Duhau Palace portion of the hotel, I would give this place another try. I mean, and like I said, everything was okay and everything was adequate. It wasn't like, oh, this is a horrible place, don't stay here. No, it wasn't like that. But I really just wanted to stay at the palace portion. And I think that's honestly what kind of jaded me a little. So there's definitely something very special about the palace portion. So if you get a chance to stay there, I would definitely recommend that. That wraps up my hotel experience in Buenos Aires in the Recoleta district. If you have questions, drop a comment and I'll be sure to answer. I hope this helps you in planning for your Buenos Aires vacation. Happy travels!